Just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to Speakers Squad Toastmasters Club meeting. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. In a Toastmaster meeting, we follow three basic ground rules. First should be phones on silent mode. Second is keep your video on as much as possible. Third is avoid talking about sex, religion, and politics. Having said that, I would like to invite the presiding officer for today's call. BA by profession, she loves to read books and explore new things. She has been a part of this club for more than a year. She believes in spreading happiness, positivity, and joy. So without further ado, let's welcome the presiding officer, Toastmaster Jayanti. Handing over to you, Toastmaster Jayanti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aviral. And you are taking this Sergeant at Arms role for the second time, I think, and you have done a great job. And kudos to you. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, let's start this meeting with a powerful thought, which I read in our poster itself, that no one is you, and that is your superpower. I cannot be you, whoever you are. So that is your superpower. Isn't it a powerful thought? And today, with your superpowers, we are here to brush up our few other superpowers, like our leadership skill, communication, and public speaking. So let's not delay and start the meeting, because I'm super excited to see so many of you here today, and I'm sure it is going to be a great session. So I will mark the session open. Today we have two guests here. One is Sheetal and Sai. Sheetal has already introduced yourself, so I would like to say hi to both of you, Sai and Sheetal. And if you would like to introduce a little bit about yourself, or if not, how are you feeling today, that would be great.
Sure. Any specific questions you have, I can answer those. Or
Yes, Sheetal, so where are you from? What do you do?
so I'm from Karnataka only. I'm staying in Bangalore right now. So I work for Aruba HPE networking domain. I'm working as a senior manager there. So yeah, that's all. I lead a team for solutions where we test all the products of Aruba. And I'm married. I have a son. I have a 12-year-old son. So yeah, that's about me.
Okay. Thank you, Sheetal. And that's a lot about you. We got to know a glimpse of your life, and that's good to know. We are glad to have you and looking forward to have you in many more coming sessions. Toastmaster Sai.
Yeah, coming to myself, I am currently working for a company called Value Labs. 6 months back, I used to be a very active participant in Toastmaster meetings. But yeah, there are some few things going on in my personal life. So that's the reason I took a break, because house construction is going on. Personally, I'm getting married recently. So these things are going on. So that is the reason I'm currently not actively participating. And when yesterday Jayanti asked me to take up any role, then I said, yeah, well, it's been a long time. Then why would I not use this opportunity? Then I said, yeah, I'm okay. That's okay. Then thank you really for this club, especially for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai. It's again good to have you. And I would also reach out to you if you ever wish to take part in or help us out. Thank you. Now, again, a warm welcome to everyone. And before we start, I would like to announce two things. First thing is the Toastmaster Leadership Institute trainings are going on. So all the club officers need to attend the meeting and understand their role better. So I would request those of you who have not registered yet, register and attend the meeting in your convenient slot and venue. And the second thing is the club contest. We would be holding the club contest in February, mostly the earlier weeks or the mid weeks. So if you are planning to participate in the speech contest, then try to complete your level 2 by then. If you need any slot, let us know. But if you're planning to participate in table topic or evaluation, there is no criteria. So use these meetings to your maximum advantage. So that would be my recommendation. I hope this would be useful. And now you can all get ready, sit straight. We will be starting the session, and I am inviting someone special on the stage. So she has been with Toastmasters since 2018 and a very active person, loves sports and adventure. She's a data engineer by profession, and she has done multiple club officer roles in past years, Sergeant at Arms, VP Ed, President, and currently she is the Area Director of Area D1. So we are so proud to have her. She's a diligent member of our club also. So Toastmaster Richa, let's join our hands to welcome Toastmaster Richa.
Avengers, assemble! How many of you have seen this iconic moment played out in the big screen?
I think Avengers are here. All are unbeaten.
Yes, but considering today's theme, the reason why I brought this dialogue is this is amongst the most iconic moment I can think of in the near recent past, I can say, of a superhero movie, not just a superhero movie, any movie, right? This one frame where Captain America says Avengers assemble, and you see every superhero out there in the Marvel universe jumping in that one single frame. Oh, someone has said 4 times on big screen. Wow, Toastmaster Aviral, you really are a fan. I don't know. I have not seen the entire movie multiple times, twice, I think. But that one frame, whenever I want to, I open the YouTube video of that one frame because I really like that. So yeah, I do get goosebumps. Every small strand of hair on my body will rise seeing that particular scene because it's full of power, energy, and not just that. It has all the superheroes, the people we see as role models in some or the other way, isn't it? So, thinking of today's theme, when I saw today's theme, this was the first thing which came to my mind. That's why I wanted to share it. Well, which brings me to the point that the theme for today is superheroes within us. We'll talk more about it, about the superheroes. But before I want to know, are any of you fascinated by any particular superheroes in general or individually also? I want to know. Anyone wants to share? Ritika is thinking a lot. I don't know. Do you watch superhero movies, series, anything?
Honestly, I don't. I'm not a fan of all these supernatural. I think I'm in the minority. Harry Potter and all that just doesn't interest me. I'm more into, realistic people. But yes, recently I saw Wednesday, and more than Wednesday is a series on Netflix, which is about a young girl. I don't know. I'm sure most of your kids, if you have kids, must be aware of it. She wears all black, and her parents put her in a supernatural kind of a school because they find her very weird. Now she has some supernatural powers, but her roommate, which is the second lead in the series, is Enid, and she is a werewolf. And her loyalty and the way she saves Wednesday from the dragon in the series is something which really excited me. So I think werewolves are someone I like because they are scary, they are loyal at the same time, and yeah, and they're ferocious. So that's something I enjoy seeing.
There are a lot of werewolves in our world or in a cinematic universe, I would say. Anyone else would like to share their favorite superhero? Please, one more. No?
There are multiple actually, not just one. So, Like there are two different universes, Marvel and DC.
DC,
So
yeah.
from DC, Batman, obviously. And then in Marvel, my personal favorite is Captain America, then Thor. So I am a big superhero movie buff. I keep on rewatching them. If someone has not seen it, I'll make them rewatch it with me. So that's the
Wow.
level I have till.
We definitely should have one superhero themed meeting then by Toastmaster Aviral. But yes, that brings me to the fact none of you are 90s kids here who would have loved to watch Shaktiman. No one, because doesn't matter which superhero movie series I go and watch or which supernatural movie series I go and watch, Shaktiman will always have a special place for me. Sole reason because we started watching it as a child, and that Sunday 12 p.m., 12 noon was a booked slot always. Never missed a single episode of Shaktiman. And to the fact that Shaktiman held a special place because at the end of every Shaktiman episode, there was a special segment. We'll talk more about that segment, but let's quickly move on with our meeting, right? For the benefit of guests, in a Toastmaster meeting, we generally have 3 sections, where the first section is the prepared speech section. Our members will book a slot of speeches to give their speeches, and they'll prepare for the speech and come and deliver a speech for around 5 to 7 minutes usually. The second is table topics section, where it is the impromptu speech section. No preparation, you come and speak on spot. So the topic will be given to you by our table topics master. The third section is the general evaluation section. Well, if we want to improve, we do not pass judgments, but we definitely need feedback. So that's where we get the feedback in the general evaluation section. And who are the people who will be giving us feedback? So let us move on and see who are those people who will be noting down everything about the meeting today. So to introduce our role takers for the meeting, I would like to invite our general evaluator for the meeting, who again has been a regular member of our club for a long time now. I think almost a year now, and he is currently the secretary of our club. Let me invite Toastmaster Ashok for leading the general evaluation introduction.
Thank you so much, Richa, for wonderful introduction. So, mirror corrects our beauty. Likewise, general evaluator helps to improve meeting effectiveness and each individual effectiveness. So, no one can do all things alone. So we have team who can help us to understand where we are and how to go to next step. So let me invite the timer. He always step up to take roles, even it is out of his club. And I have seen so many times in our meetings. Okay, he is Sai. So over to you, Sai, to elaborate on your role.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Sai.
Okay.
ahead.
So, yeah, just a minute. Okay. So coming to myself, my name is Toastmaster Sai Charan. So currently, I will be taking up the timer role for this meeting, and as part of this, as part of my role, I will be noting down the timings of all the speeches delivered by the Toastmasters in this meeting. And for the prepared speeches, the time limit is for 4 minutes. I'll be pin my time card, my tile, so that you can see my change. I'll change the screen it for prepared speeches. It's 4 minutes. So 4 minutes, you'll see the green card like this. And for 6 minutes, it's the yellow card. And it's for 7 minutes, the time is done. So the red card will be visible. So pin my tile so that you'll see the whoever is picking it. And for table topics, for 1 minute, it's a green color. And for 1.5 minutes, it's for table topic, it's yellow. And for 2 minutes, it's a red card. And for evaluations, 2 minutes is a green card, and for 2.5 minutes you can see the yellow card, and for 3 minutes you'll see the red card. So I will submit the report to the general evaluator whenever called upon. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Sai. So let me invite accountant, who he is product manager by profession, loves listening to music and playing sports, actively trying to find a cricket team to play with. Who he is Avril. Over to you, Avril, to elaborate on your role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashok. By the way, I found out a cricket team to play with.
Oh, great.
So, explaining my accountant role, while speaking, we as humans have a tendency to use unnecessary and not required words or phrases. As an accountant, my role is to keep the track on the crutch words, repetitive words, and fillers that you might be using. So they might be sounds like or words like so, also, now, like, actually. I would also be paying attention to repetitive and non-contributing phrases. I want to let, or this means, what this means, and any unnecessary pauses between the speech. I'll present my report at the end of the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashok.
Thank you, Avril. Now I'm inviting Grammarian. I think he is only C in this tag team today. He has been member of this Toastmasters since inception. She has been so active early. So she is Srija. Over to you, Srija, to elaborate on your role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashok. I assume you have a cold, your voice is sounding, so I hope to recover soon. Yeah, as a grammarian, my job is to watch out for the usage of the language. I would be keeping a tab of correct as well as incorrect usage of the language. I will also be presenting the report at the end of the meeting. It's also my responsibility to share the word of the day. I'm trying to share my screen, but you can see it. If you can see it, well and good. I'm trying to share.
I think Srija, I think most of the people are able to see it, right? No?
Okay, so the word of the day is doggedness. Doggedness is a noun. It actually means persistence in effort. So for example, you could use it as her doggedness and hard work helped them win the match. The phrase of the day is very appropriate to our theme, which is not all heroes wear capes. So I would recommend you all to use the word of the day, which is doggedness, and phrase of the day, which is not all heroes wear capes. I shall come back with the report when called upon. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashok. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Srija. If you don't mind, can you elaborate the meaning of not all heroes wear the capes?
I was about to ask that, Ashok.
Yeah.
Sure. So when we talk about heroes and the capes, one of the character that comes out, can I ask who comes out in your mind when we say a hero wearing a cape?
Superman.
There are a couple of them, but yeah,
Oh.
Batman. When Batman has a cape, but then I think Superman stands out when we
Superman.
talk about capes,
Thor
right?
also has a
So
cape.
yeah. Oh yeah, he does. So yeah, so is it necessary for you to be a hero to have a cape? My response to that is no, not necessary, right? You can be a hero without a cape. So that's where that phrase comes from. You don't necessarily need to be a hero wearing a cape. You can be a hero without a cape. So
Yeah,
basically, we all are heroes in our own sense. That's what the phrase means.
Yeah, thank you so much, Srija, for wonderful explanation. Sorry for asking that. I didn't know that what is the cape, so that's why I asked. Okay. Okay. As a general evaluator, I will observe every section of the meeting, and at the end of the meeting, I will give my feedback. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, to listen to me. Over to you, Richa.
Thank you to our general evaluator and the entire tag team. So now you know who are the people who you should be careful about, especially our timer for the day. For all the speakers, do take a note of the timer's video for the timing cues. With that, let's move on. I told you that there was a special segment at the end of every Shaktiman episode as a child, right? I don't know how many of you have watched it, But I loved that segment. It was an educational segment called Body is Temple. And in there, Shaktiman would usually come and tell you that take care of your body, because if you do that, every one of you can become Shaktiman. So that is so relatable to the theme of us today. And there, it was actually told a lot of stuff which we as individuals, because we all were children watching it, can inculcate in our daily lives, right? Which brings me to the point, to the fact that what is it that when we see these superheroes on screen, we admire them so much? What is it that makes these people the superheroes that they are? I know we do see them having either a special suit or magical powers, special powers, but is it only those parts, or do you think there is something else? Would anyone like to share what their opinion is on this particular point? What do they think that makes these superheroes? I see Ritika raising her hand.
Yeah, actually, you said it that they have costume, they have obviously a superpower, they have everything going their way, and they have the admiration of the people around them. But I think what stands out even more is their kindness and their goodness. Because when we see them, we don't see them being proud or ignorant or like, throwing a cold shoulder on anyone. It's their kindness and their gentleness in which they portray their greatness. I think that's what stands out in superheroes for me.
Ritika gave a really, really good point. Anyone wants to add to that?
I think I'll go. I think as human beings, right, we always aspire for that something better, right? Where we see ourselves, we are not able to get there, but we would like to get there, and that's what this superhero kind of manifests itself into, right? Our aspirations as to what we would want to in terms of power and whatever we can do with those powers, and that's why I guess this whole superhero concept has become so popular in our world.
So true again. Well, I did not think of that point, Toastmaster Shrija. So thank you so much. We'll discuss more on these points, and I'll talk about why I think, or how I think we all can be superheroes. Before that, let's move on to our prepared speech section, where we have two speakers who have prepared their speeches to deliver today. The first one is Toastmaster Priya. Let me call upon her evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Jayanti, who we all have already been introduced to. She is the president of our club for the second consecutive term, and she has completed one entire path already, and doing fantastic as of now. With that, I would like to hand it over to Toastmaster Jayanti to give away the objectives for Toastmaster Priya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa, for those warm words. So Toastmaster Priya will be giving her level 3 project 2 speech today. And the purpose of her project is to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. So I'm excited to hear what story she brings in. So all the best, Toastmaster Priya, and thank you, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayanti. With that, let me invite Toastmaster Priya, who we all know is a chartered accountant by profession. Well, our club is full of people from various backgrounds because we are a community club, and she's, I think, a chartered accountant at a very young age. I know that because you all know why. But yeah, anyways, let me invite Toastmaster Priya. Is God real? Is God real, Toastmaster Priya?
Ever wondered the blessings of divine power? Ever wondered who exactly is the backup of your luck? Ever wondered when everything seems out of your control, who sent you the much needed last minute help? Well, most of you might have answered my questions by now, but for those who couldn't, let me share you the answer. The answer to this is God. Good morning, one and all present here. Today, I'm going to present my views on the topic, is God real? Well, everyone might have their own views on this point, but let me share you few insights from my personal life which strengthened my relationship with the divine power. Year 2020, festive season was round the corner. Hardly had we finished lighting diyas for Dhanteras, the festival where we bring new utensils to our home and wear brand new clothes. Suddenly, a topic erupted out of nowhere, lump in my mother's breast. My father said, I'll take her to the hospital after Diwali. The doctor might suggest some tumor kind of a thing. We all got very frightened. The next few days were filled with negativity and trepidation. On the day of Diwali, we wear new clothes, celebrate it with pomp and joy, but we were reluctant to celebrate the festival. We somehow finished the puja. Being in a world full of information at your fingertips, I wanted to know my answers immediately. I Googled it. I read through articles and concluded that this might lead to something serious. A few days later, reports came. Carcinoma, it mentioned. I Googled it again to find out the meaning of this word and perhaps found out that my deepest fear had come true. It refers to cancer cells. So, this, I read the report again, and only to find the doctor's comment beneath it refer to cancer hospital. This single piece of paper turned a life topsy-turvy. Even the strongest member of our family, my father, said, Beta, when I heard these words from from doctor's mouth, I could feel the ground beneath my feet slipping away. What followed? Everyone started exploring different treatment possibilities. This was not it. The next year was very crucial for me as well. I had my CA final due in May 2021. Somehow, I had lost interest studying after this incident. I did not study for 2 consecutive months, November and December. My mother's treatment started around mid of December 2020. I shifted to Bangalore around in January 21. With the start of new year, my mother said this to me, your clearing CA final is very important financially too for the family. This motivated me harder. I started studying. I was given little updates on my mother's health so that I don't lose focus on studying. I was given a room which was perhaps locked from outside so that it is always ensured that I kept studying as much as possible. Just 5 days before my exams, my mother had her first round of chemotherapy. At the time when she should have rested the most, she kept awake almost all nights throughout my exam so as to ensure that I don't doze off while studying. Finally, with all of this doggedness and hard work, I cleared my CA final and also my mother defeated cancer. Thinking about all these tough times now, I felt somehow all those silent prayers were answered. The way my mother recovered and the smoothness by which her treatment was carried out was not less than a miracle. Was not less than a miracle. It is true that we put in a lot of efforts. We did try our level best, but somehow the answer to this was not in our hands. It was all dependent on destiny. Who could have thought juggling between CA final, cancer, financial stress, shifting? Who could have thought that both of us could emerge victor in our individual battles? This made me realize the strength of divine power. This made my belief even more firm in one of the quotes of the Bible, which goes on as follows. When you pass through deep waters, I'll be with you. Meaning, God will always be with us and will not abandon us no matter what we do in our life. He will provide us the strength to fight against all odds. When He is with us, we need not need anyone else. This helped me to inculcate a very good habit of praying daily. Praying for even 5 minutes daily, I realized that I started my day on a positive note. I could connect it with that divine power, and I could feel this some positive strength in me. So, my dear friends, I would urge you to do your karma, start your day with a prayer, and leave all things in His hand. For He knows when to give the right time for you for all the right things. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya, for that wonderful story. We will now move on to a second speaker for the day. And I would now invite Toastmaster Ritika to lay down the objectives for Toastmaster Garima. Let me introduce she is host. Can you put Toastmaster Garima? Yes. Toastmaster Ritika is a member of Toastmasters since I think for 4 or 5 years. She has completed 3 parts, not one or two, 3 parts, and she has contested even in the division contests as well. Along with that, she is a mentor to many Toastmasters out there. So with that, let me invite Toastmaster Ritika to lay down the objectives of Toastmaster Garima.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Richa. Good morning, everybody, and a special one to our Toastmaster Garima, who is giving her icebreaker speech today, her very first in the Toastmasters world. Let me lay out the speech objectives. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note the time is 4 to 6 minutes. And a special mention to all the audience. Once the speech is done and handed over to the TMOD, please stand up wherever you are seated to give a standing ovation to our speaker today. All the very best, Toastmaster Garima, and back to you, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. Moving on to our next speaker of the day, Toastmaster Garima, being one of the newest members of our club. And I do have her introduction with me. She is an IT professional with over a decade of experience, although she's new to Toastmaster, but comes with a decade of experience in project management. She likes to spend her time in arts and crafts, specifically mandala and mud mirror. Wow, those are some things which are Greek to me because I am terrible at that. But Toastmaster Garima, welcome, and over to you for your icebreaker speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika and Richa for my introduction, a short introduction, and thank you everyone. So with this, I'll just get started. Like Richa has already introduced me and spoke about me that I have over a decade of experience in IT and project management, as well as I really like to spend time drawing, mandala arts. I don't have those drawing book right now with me, otherwise I would have definitely shown you guys, but maybe in some other meetings I will present some of my work. But apart from this, I just wanted to if I start let you know a little more about myself. Then I'm born in UP. I brought up in MP. I graduated in IT in BTech from Gwalior. I've been a very curious child since childhood. You know, I like to know the concept behind anything I'm studying. That made me a very, that helped in my studies a lot. And I was good at academically. Thankfully, my teachers in maths and physics were so good that they helped me understand the concept behind any formula that I'm studying and how it is derived. What is the practical implementation of that attracted my attention towards maths and physics. I graduated, that opted for IT, engineering and I in IT and graduated and landed in Bangalore in an IT job. Still so far it has been going so well for me. And after joining IT, uh, you know, I was one more thing about me. I was a yoga enthusiast and used to practice very healthy habits when I till until I graduated. When I landed in IT, the work stress, the lifestyle, the demands of IT companies, I drifted from spirituality and yoga and meditation. I thought that in IT you have to work like that. You have to meet customer demands. You have to be available as per their needs, and you have to finish work as per the target that you have committed. That all have I slowly drifted. In order to meet those commitment, I slowly drifted from these spirituality, yoga, and meditation habits, and started of having health issues since 2008 or 9. I still didn't focus about myself, and I only focused about because I was so career oriented. Very early in my age, I had promoted to management role, leadership role, actually, when I had just 5 6 years of experience in 2011 and 12. I thought uh, I was part of the discussions with the leadership, on strategic decision making. It excited me, but at the same time, it kind of made me realize that how realize at that point of time that there were only one women in the lot of 10 12 senior leadership discussing on strategic organization related initiative. I am so excited to join this club because I've attended couple of meetings, because here I see a lot of women are joining it. The ratio of men versus men in this club is too good, and everybody is so focused, want to grow in their career, take up more leadership role. That's so excited. But at that point of time, I used to be the only person, and men was at that point of time, even men were not very comfortable working with female employee discussing these things. They used to go out in sutta breaks and all and take their decisions there rather discussing with the female employees in the table. So I faced that challenge. And the other challenge I faced about my health issues, and I was ignorant of that. I thought that the outer circumstances need to change rather than me need to change. For a very long time, I focused on changing jobs, and changing other things rather than focusing on myself. What can I do in the situation? You know, I left, even I took a break from IT thinking that, to bring my schedule back, to gain my health, regain my health, follow healthy habits. I need to change my career. I need to do something else wherein I can dedicate my time for personal and professional things and all. But that didn't help me at all. After spending couple of years in break trying to do something of my own, there also I felt both the same challenges. The pressure was high, so it was difficult to manage work life, the as well as in startup world as well. You are surrounded with so many people, the male counterparts, having forming their own groups, discussing things so on their own. So these two things I had been thinking how to solve over a very long time. The consequences of the second part, not following the healthy habits, have led me to a stage that few months back I've been diagnosed with some um, serious health issues actually, and I'm dealing with those. And that made me, pulled me to think very seriously about myself and decide and find out what wrong I'm doing actually, what is there that I'm not able to understand after of all these years and not able to follow. And then I realized it's me who have to change. I can't change the outer circumstances, be it at workplace or at personal life. So what can I do to to manage these things better? And I am 2023, I've decided to pick some habits and change myself rather than others, rather than changing the circumstances, rather than changing the environment I am in. So two, three habits that I've decided for 2023, which is I want to share it with you guys as well, is following a healthy routine, which is like going back to my earlier routine of starting my day with gratitude, practicing yoga and meditation, as well as eating in moderation. When I say eating in moderation, is like you always, wherever you go, you go in parties, you attend events, you can't avoid those, but then you can choose the healthy food to eat. For example, I recently went to a party 2 days before. There were like a book a big buffet arranged. So there were a pasta counter, there were Chinese counter, but I asked them to give me a bowl of sauteed vegetables rather than eating pasta full of creams or Chinese. Asked them, give me a sauteed vegetable, a bowl of it. There were a counter for fruit dessert. I had about one bowl of that. I had one bowl of sauteed vegetable, had one chila. That was good enough for my dinner. And yeah, that's how I am practicing more and more these healthy habits. So 2023 is dedicated for my good health, and I hope that with these practicing these healthy habits, I would be able to regain my good health by end of 2023. Yeah, that's it about I hope I've been able to made you understand about me, who I am, from where I coming, and yeah, that's it about me. Thank you.
Can we all please give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Garima?
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garima, for giving that wonderful icebreaker speech and something which I think almost everyone present in this meeting can relate to. And I wish you a really, really good and healthy 2023 and onwards.
Thank you.
With that, let us move on.
Garima, what is the third point actually? Sorry to interrupt. Healthy
Third,
diet, second.
sorry.
Second point is balanced diet. I mean,
So
third
first
point,
thing is starting my day with gratitude,
gratitude.
practicing yoga and
Yeah.
meditation, and second thing, eating in moderation.
Okay.
Wherever you go, you look for good healthy options, and you fill your stomach with those healthy options. On top of that, if you want to have some desserts and all, you can take in small quantity, in small. You should avoid. Ideally, you should not. But in case you want to satisfy your taste bud, you can eat in moderation.
What the third point then?
Yeah, these are the two things actually.
Two, no, only two. Sorry. Okay, then I thought it's 3 points.
Oh, Sai is too much dietitian now.
No, Ashok. I just curious to know. And I maybe I did not hear it properly. I thought it's 3 points, 3 habits.
No,
That's
two.
the reason I was looking for the third one. Did I miss or something?
Hmm.
So Toastmasters always go with the power of 3, right? That's what everyone is used to. But
Okay.
nonetheless, Toastmaster Garima, a fantastic speech. I think we all enjoyed it. With that, let us talk a little bit more about superheroes within us. I know Toastmaster Ritika shared kindness and goodness. Toastmaster Shrija mentioned something we all look to improve within ourselves. Both of these very, very true. And I believe personally that it is not really their superpowers which we admire. It is also the fact that they come from such ordinary background. They're such ordinary people in their actual lives. If they were not the superheroes, if they did not put on that mask, they are just people like any of us. In fact, we may have more means than they are actually shown to have in their real lives, right? Such ordinary people. Then what is it that made them into superheroes? It was one, that they were really willing to help people in need without giving a second thought. Doesn't matter what the consequence for them, right? The second thing is their selflessness, which they did not really care about. Hey, someone is in trouble, but if I go and help, I might get injured. I might be broke financially. I might lose a lot of friends and relationships. They did not care about all of that. Third is they always thought that there is something within them which they can improve on. They always try to work upon their uh, what I would say, upon their own weaknesses, right? If they figured out that, hey, let's take the example of Spider-Man. Spider-Man, when he got all those webs and all everything, he was not able to use them as well as he could after a lot of practice, right? So they understood that we are we need to constantly improve. We need to constantly work upon ourselves. The other thing which I think makes them really, really what they are is the fact that that in the particular moment that they are, they do not really see that, hey, or they do not let the power that they have mislead them into thinking the fact that, hey, I can keep it for myself. They always try to use it for the greater good. They respect the values that they had set for themselves, doesn't matter with power, without power, right? They keep that humanity within themselves intact. So those are the few things which I think makes them the superheroes they are. Doesn't matter. I know a lot of times we have seen them without power. If you go for Shaktiman, right, a lot of times we have seen that his powers were taken away from him, and still he tried to help people out as good he could without the powers also. It was not like, I don't have powers, I won't go and stand up for anything. No, this he still did. And that's, I think, which that's what I think, which we all should think of doing in our lives also. Maybe we do not have those magical powers, but we definitely have some very cool things which we can use. Like we have a time, a smile, a kind heart. And I know Toastmaster Ritika is smiling and looking at me. Time is something we don't have, Richa, right now in our meeting. Which brings me to the point that we have our second segment for the meeting today, which is the table topic section, which is going to be led by our Toastmaster Deepa, who is a relatively new member in our club compared to the others we have introduced so far, but who has been a constant present in the recent meetings that I have seen. With that, over to you, Toastmaster Deepa, for leading the table topics section.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Hey everyone, good morning. Okay, let me just share my screen. Maybe, can you see my screen now?
No.
Not yet, Deepa.
Yeah, it
Now?
can.
Yes, yes, we are able to.
Okay, so just to remind you all, the table topics session is
You
conducted.
might want to hide the left-hand panel. We are all able to see the topics.
Okay. Okay, now. Right. So the table topics is basically conducted in the Toastmaster session to allow people to think on their toes and come up with an ad hoc speech. And it's also pretty timed within 1 to 2 minutes so that we can keep our content precise and relevant to the topic. Okay. So here is the timing for for you to refresh your memory. I would like to have a first volunteer on the session today who would like to go for this topic, and it's all relevant around superheroes itself. So
Okay, Deepa, I can take it.
okay, great. So Ashok, your topic is this: the superhero moment you recently had in your workplace.
Superhero moment you recently had in work. Thanks, Deepa. I think this is a wonderful topic, which we never, it is not easy to find your superhero moment in your workplace, as always people likes to go move away of your workplace. Okay, let me identify some incident for 1 minute. Okay. Okay, one day I started my day with the exercise and then went to office where I see one biggest problem in our team. Just say there was one tool which is going to solve big heads problems. So suddenly the tool is behaving like stochastic tool, means we cannot understand the output of the tool in that situation. So it put all the people in mess. Now people are looking to solve. within a day. So people are always looking for other people rather than searching in themselves. So then only superhero will come and solve it, right? So there was one of the person who took initiative, and even though it is not his responsible, and he put his head in the tool and tried to solve without sleeping till 4 a.m. I think that's how I see superhero in workplace, who solve the other problems. Thanks so much, Deepa. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashok. I think that was well said. It's always at your workplace, you always find that one person to go to who can magically solve everything. And the worst part is the person is not remembered the immediate next day as well. Okay, so that's the sad part of it. It's a great, that was very well said. Thank you, Toastmaster Ashok. So who wants to go to the next volunteer for the next topic? Pretty easy ones, guys.
I will go.
Maybe you can encourage the guests.
Yes, maybe this one, Jayanti, let she take, and I will give the one next to the guest. So Jayanti, this might be a taboo topic, but I'll still call it out. Single moms as superheroes.
Sorry, I didn't get.
Single moms as superheroes. What's your take?
Single moms are superheroes.
Yes. I share my screen for the benefit of the topic.
Okay. Yeah. So you might have heard a concept that a relationship is held by two people. There is a man, there is a woman, and they hold that relationship, and everything nurtures their beautifully, their children, their kids. But when one of them leaves, say the father, there is one person, the mom, who holds the complete responsibility alone. If you imagine it, it's like the Hercules, he's holding a big stone. You would picture single moms. It would be a similar picture, holding all the responsibility. So if I have to imagine a single mom as a superhero, then that would be a representation, somebody holding a big stone and not letting their kids getting affected by the ruthlessness of the whole world. They will not let their kids get affected by anything. So that is how I would picture single moms. But then there comes a thing that we all superheroes, one superhero cannot do everything alone. So there comes our responsibility. So if we see somebody as a single mom doing their best, we should also act like superheroes and help them whenever it is possible. Because if you have seen Avengers, one Avenger cannot do everything, cannot do that fight. They all help each other. So it is also our responsibility that if there is a superhero, we also do our responsibility. So that is my point. Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayanti. I think that you balanced it very well, not going on one side of the coin as such. Yes, as the coin has two faces, it's important the environment also supports. Maybe at a point in time, being a single mom was a taboo, but I don't think it's anymore. At least for people who are living in cities, it doesn't seem to be an issue. Not as such, even in rural places as well, right? Okay, that's well said. Now I would like to give the opportunity for the guests as well. So who would like to take up the next topic? Okay.
Maybe would encourage Sheetal to take topic?
Yes, Sheetal.
Can give a try, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to talk so flawlessly like you all are doing and think quickly.
That's
But I
fine,
can give a
Sheetal.
try.
There is nothing. I mean, there is a failure mechanism in Toastmasters, so nothing to worry.
Sure, yeah, I can give a try.
You can see the screen now. So
Yes.
the topic is this: are superheroes overrated?
Okay. Okay. So yes, according to me, I don't think superheroes are overrated because these are concepts. So we always need something to look up to, something to inspire us. So I think it is good to have superheroes whom we can relate to, who can inspire us. Yeah, that's all I can say.
The minimum time was 1 minute, Sheetal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyways, my take is this: some of the concepts which have been off late created in the superhero movies, maybe because they want to keep the sequel going, I think it's getting overrated. But going back to what Richa was saying, the old days of the He-Man and the Shaktimans and all, like they had a message which was very relevant to the society, which was very relevant which impacted the mass by itself, right? So yeah, I think
Deepa, we can take one more.
yeah, okay. I will give one last. So who would like to go for the next one?
I can take.
Okay. So your topic is, if the world was filled with superheroes, will that be an advantage or a chaos?
Can you please repeat this? I didn't get.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Advantage, chaos. All right, I got the topic. Give me a few minutes to think. All right. So I'll start this topic giving references to movies and TV series. So like we all have seen Avengers, and we know like how it sounds so good that superheroes are amongst us, and they are there saving the day, and like every time someone needs help, they are there, and they are always shown in goodwill and all that. But to the contrary, there is a director who decided to choose what will happen if superheroes goes berserk, and then like he came up with a concept which turned into a TV series called The Boys. In The Boys, superheroes are shown as villains. So basically, like they have too much power. The public admires them still because they don't know the ground reality of what is going behind the pictures. So every time, so so in Marvel or DC movies, we see that superheroes are always thinking about how do they make it a safer environment for each and everyone. But in The Boys, like it has been shown that superheroes also think that how do we stay more popular, how do we ensure that no one rises against us. So like a Hitler kind of mentality. So I do feel that if the world is filled with superheroes, like the literal superheroes who actually have powers, then it might lead to something like this. It will be chaos because a very few bunch of people will have all the powers. But if we are talking about superheroes in the other sense, which basically means that our parents or teachers, then the world will be a much more better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Aurel. I think you kind of framed it very well. End of the day, I think the message you passed was whether you're a superhero or not, survival becomes the core. Thank you for that. Over to you, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. I think that was a wonderfully conducted table topic section. We got so many different points of views. in the interest of time, I would like to just share this one last message from me on today's theme. There's one thing that we think about superheroes, that every time they come in with their courageous act, they save millions of people. In my opinion, a superhero doesn't need to be someone who saves millions of people. We all can be superheroes if we just try and maybe help one person around us who needs that help. Maybe in a week, in a month, we find one person who needs help and give some time of ourselves and help them out. And if we all do that, the world probably will be full of superheroes, but with much less chaos. And we all can really get in touch with that superhero within us. With that, let me now invite our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Ashok, to carry on with the general evaluation, the last section of our Toastmasters meeting today.
Thank you, Richa. Thank you. So this is the time to reflect about today's meeting. So let me invite first evaluator who can give constructive feedback to first speaker. So over to you, Jayanti, to give feedback about first speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashok, and good morning, everyone. And my special greetings to Toastmaster Priya. Well, I have seen you from the day you had started your journey with this club. And I must say that you have come a long way. And that journey has reflected today in your speech. Because I must say, this speech of yours today, it was my favorite speech of all the speeches that you had given. A brilliant speech. And what are the things that made your speech my favorite? I would like to call out a few points. First thing is the structure of the speech. Relatable questions, all the dilemmas, all the questions that we don't ask but have in our mind and heart, were the questions that you put them into words. That emotional and personal story, we all get connected to that. And then the beautiful conclusion. You left your audience with a message that do your karma and leave it to Lord. And your references to Bible verses, they were beautiful. They gave a message to audience which they can take home, that do your karma and leave it to Lord. The second thing was your body language. You were expressing your points and your body was moving with it. It was very good. And your voice was bringing in your emotion. We were feeling when you got the report and how you were feeling. That part was really good. And third was your use of word of the day. That shows your presence of mind. That's a very good point. And last thing, the struggles that you went through, that makes you a superhero again. And I must say that not all heroes wear capes, and you are a reference. Now, all the points, everything that made your speech beautiful, but there were just two things that I would like you to improve so that it takes your speech to another level. And the first thing was your unnecessary movements. So if you are giving a point and then moving like this and this, it would be very difficult to for the audience to focus on what you are saying. So I would like you to present your view, but being still, or maybe use your hands, but keeping yourself still. And the second thing is what I felt that you were reading a script. What I would suggest is take less help of script and try practice without a script. That would bring out your emotions more. That would bring your voice variety more. So those are the two things that I would like to improve. But overall, for me, it was a brilliant speech. As I said, it is my favorite speech of yours till today. I loved it, and I hope you take the improvements, and I see those in your next speech. Congratulations again, and I'm really excited to hear your next speech. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so
Over
much,
to you, Toastmaster.
Jayanti, for thanks so much, Jayanti, for valuable feedback. I am along with you. Even I had the same feedback points. Okay, just I want to add one is maybe adding small pauses make your speech more beautiful. I think it is continuously. There was no pause at all. And as he mentioned, if you stop means if you take less help of reader, then you could have exhibit emotions along with your speech. I think that will make you brilliant in future. Thank you so much. Um, let me invite second evaluator Ritika to help the second speaker. Over to you, Ritika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashok. And good morning once again. And a very big hi to Toastmaster Garima. Congratulations on taking the first step and delivering your icebreaker speech for all of us. The few things that came out so splendidly in your speech, and even before you started delivering your speech, was your smile, your positive attitude, and your confidence as a person. That reflected immediately the minute you came onto the virtual stage. So, very well done there. I hope you keep inculcating these characteristics in yourself and never let anything hamper them. Well, your speech was really very good. You met the speech objectives of actually introducing yourself to all of us. You did just that, and there were few things which were really great to have in your speech and listen as an audience as well. The very first one, of course, was your confidence. Though you were sitting, and most of the time, I always say that, stand up and deliver. But today, I would say that if you have strong content, if you have the right intent and the confidence, then whether you are sitting, dancing, moving, whatever you do, message will definitely reach the audience. And Garima, your introduction reached us even though you were sitting and you hardly had any hand gestures, but your content and the strength of delivery was very evident. So that is a natural in you. Keep inculcating that, keep giving speeches to keep improving on that part. Your delivery style is very, very good. The second one is, of course, your transition. You started off by introducing yourself as a person. Then you told us where you are from. Then you also gave us a glimpse of how your professional life was. You were the only one in the leadership team. You were the youngest who was in the leadership team. So all that actually helped us understand you as a person, that from a very young age you naturally had leadership skills, and probably that's why you were chosen to be in the leadership team. So these are the things which we look forward to in an icebreaker, and you really targeted these very characteristics in you. There are a few recommendations as well. Since I see you already as a great speaker, full of confidence, to improve that even more and to improve your delivery style even more, your presence in front of the camera also matters a lot. So when you focus your camera, if you can tilt the laptop a little lower, then the space of the wall will decrease and you will be covering most of the camera, because camera is our ultimate superpower over here. The more we cover it, the better it is. So what you did just now is exactly what you can do in your future speeches as well. Just tilt it a little less, a little more, and more of our face will show. The second one is the structure of your speech. You are a good writer. I can make out from the way you have delivered your speech. You are a good speaker as well. What structure does is it puts categories in your speech. So, like you started off saying you're from Gwalior and little bit of your family background, then you quickly moved to your professional life, then you quickly moved back to what you are as a person. By giving a structure and writing your speech and practicing it a little more will help you not repeat the points which you have already mentioned, and add some new points in your speech. So I can definitely say that your doggedness and your hard work to deliver this icebreaker was showing. I wish you all the very best for your future speeches. Looking forward to them. With that, back to you, Toastmaster Ashok.
Thank you, Ritika. I think it was in detail evaluation. I think this will help Garima to make his journey better. Thanks so much for that. Let me invite tag team to give their reports to all. Okay, over to you, timer first. Sai, to give your report. You are on mute if you are speaking.
Hi, fellow Toastmasters. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. A very good job done by all the prepared speakers and also the table topic participants. And only Toastmaster Garima went overtime. That is for 7 minutes and 10 seconds. It's not considered as because it's an icebreaker, so there's nothing wrong in it. Even the evaluator also took a little more time. As it is an icebreaker, it's fine. But yeah, my job is to inform. Just I'm informing you. Coming to the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Priya had taken 6 minutes 28 seconds on time, and Garima took 7 minutes and 10 seconds. And coming to the table topics, Toastmaster Ashok took 1 minute 21 seconds. And after that, I had a power cut for 3.5 minutes. And in that 3.5 minutes, 2 people had finished their table topics. It looks like someone had finished very early. By the time I joined back, Toastmaster Jayant and Toastmaster Sheetal, I guess. These 2 Toastmasters had delivered their table topics. So I could not time this out. And after that, when I'm back, Toastmaster Aviral had delivered his table topics page. He took 1 minute 41 seconds. So these 2 folks are on time. And coming to the evaluators, Toastmaster Jayanti took 3 minutes 11 seconds, and Toastmaster Ritika took 3 minutes 35 seconds. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Sai. It was wonderful to hear you. Even you are offline, you guessed, okay, who can be done what. So that was really awesome. Thank you so much for your help. Let me invite Accounter to give his report. Over to you, Aviral.
Yes, hey guys, let me just share my screen. Yes. So starting with the accountant report for the day, I'll go one by one with all the speakers. Jayanti, you had around 8 filler sounds today. Amar. Some of them came when you opened the session, and a few of them came when you were evaluating your speaker. So, and when was a word which you used quite a lot. So maybe it can be controlled. Then moving on to Ashok. Ashok, like for you as well, you used a lot of filler sounds, 12 filler sounds, and took a lot of pauses. And your repeat words were to, so, and like. So maybe you can keep an eye on them. Maybe you can keep an eye on them from next time. Next, coming on to Shrija. Shrija, you only had 4 filler sounds. Like you are, I know you are yet to speak, but on the topic that you already spoke before, you only had 4 filler sounds. So that's why I have highlighted your name. Same goes for Ritika. Ritika, you actually spoke a lot. Like you also spoke in the evaluators. You also spoke in the evaluator section, and even before the evaluation, you were speaking. So kudos to you for only getting 4 filler sounds. Garima, while the content you had was very, very strong, but you had a lot of filler sounds and repetitive words that you can work on. Some examples will be like, landed, IT, graduated, so, and or. So maybe you can work on them from the next time. Coming on to Sai. Sai, you had 8 filler sounds and 3 pauses. No repetitive words as such. So maybe you can just work on your filler sounds. Coming on to Sheetal. Sheetal, since this was your first session, you gave a crack at you still gave a crack at your introduction and a TTM topic, but you still only had just 3 filler sounds. So that's why I've highlighted your name as well. So a good try on your first attempt. Coming on to Priya. Priya, your speech like went flawless. So that is why you only used 4 filler sounds, and most of them actually came towards the end of the speech. So maybe from next time you can like observe a bit better as to like what is happening towards the end of the speech. Then coming on to Deepa. Deepa, you conducted the TDM session very, very well, since your content was also pretty long. So there are more filler words, but it is actually less than the average of the entire group. So kudos on that. Richa, you had the biggest role for the TMOD. So you had a lot of filler sounds and pauses, but no repetitive words as such. And I think a lot of filler sounds you had were because of the fact that you were improvising in between, which is certainly a good thing. Then coming on to me, this number will probably become 15 after my current evaluation. So yeah, I'll also try to improve upon my filler sounds and pauses. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank
Toastmaster Avril, I genuinely confused. How did you count your filler sounds and pauses?
So yeah, I had a very busy day today.
really great, Avral. It was a really in detail report. I think this will help people to improve themselves. But one interesting point was you highlighted your future, means you added your pauses or things also to become more. That was a really great from your side. Thank you so much, um, Avril. Um, Next, let me invite Srija to give about grammarian report. Over to you, Srija.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashok. So stars for today in terms of grammarian grammar usage would be Priya and Ritika for word of the day, and for phrase of the day, Jayanti. So thank you guys. You are the stars for the grammarian today. Now, in terms of the usage of the language, I would say it was a fairly balanced session today, both because of the number of incorrect as well as correct usage. So I would like to call upon the incorrect usage. One of the common things that we hear these days is we use share you. Let me share you. Actually, it's actually what we intend to mean here is share with you. The other one was emerge victor. I think what you meant was emerge victorious. Another usage incorrect was me need to change. What you meant, I believe, is I need to change. One more, there was one of the person. I think what we meant was there was this person. Apologies for the background noise. I don't know what's happening outside. Calling out the correct usage: trepidation, pomp and joy, topsy-turvy, fight against all odds, ruthlessness, to the contrary, dilemma. These are some of the correct usage that we heard today, and thank you guys for using these support words and phrases. That will summarize the grammarian report. Back to you, Toastmaster Ashok.
Thank you so much, Srija, for wonderful grammarian report. Okay, let me talk about each section. Okay, I think Aviral started meeting with the high energy. But only one feedback I can give you to Aviral is just I felt Aviral, you are just reading the script. Maybe if you practice differently, I think it could have been better. That is the one feedback I can give it to you. I think next will be PO. I think she did great job. She invited guest with the more enthusiastic, and she started meeting with high energy as well. I think that will be always good to see that. Next, I think TMOD made my day. I don't see any suggestions for TMOD, but only one session I can say. Maybe you need to look at the time. I think we crossed the time already, but still we didn't close the meeting. Okay, that is only one session. Next, I think tag team did very good in detail reports. I think that will help each and everyone. Next, I think next I can go to TTM. You, Deepa, I think you made fantastic table topic. A table topic session today, but only one session. Maybe you can try to encourage the people to use word of the day and day of the phrase, right? I think that could have been, maybe you can remind them, you can use during these speeches, right? I think that will help to you to make all people to use those things, right? Apart from that, I think overall we enjoyed a lot. I hope everyone saved his day. For thank you so much. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashok and the entire evaluation team. And I hope that you all like the meeting. As our phrase of the day says, not all superheroes wear capes. So let us make sure that we all invoke the superhero within us, and if possible, go out and try and do even a small, tiny bit of something generous for anyone around us, wherever we see. With that, I would like to hand it back to a presiding officer, Toastmaster Jayanti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. And you have conducted a fantastic session. And thank you all the role takers and the guests for being present here and making it a successful meeting. I have put the voting link in the chat box, so you can go ahead and vote for your favorite role taker. So we will give it a minute and then we can announce the results.
Jayanti, over here, can I just add a pointer for the club and its members while everyone is voting?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so this is regarding the upcoming contest, and why I'm speaking in regards to that is we have a lot of new members in the club, and as already mentioned by Jayanti, that the speech contest has an eligibility criteria, but table topics and evaluation doesn't. So regardless whether you are just 1 day old in the club or 1 month or whatever it is, please take part in the table topic contest, because that is something which we are doing session by session, speaking for just 2 minutes. It will be absolutely similar to what Deepa conducted today. So regardless of how new you are or how old you are in Toastmasters, table topic should be a default option to contest in. Because once you contest, you will already grow by, I don't know how many years in Toastmasters by just contesting in that 1 hour contest. So that is something I wanted to say. And of course, for the international speech contest, if you have completed level 2, there should be no reason not to contest. And I'm sure Jayanti and the XCOM will share the link to nominate yourselves as contestants. Go ahead and do it. And by the time, if you haven't finished level 2, you are just left with 1 or 2 speeches, go ahead and finish it, but nominate your name, because contesting is the next level for any Toastmasters. Yep, that's it. And of course, to all the mentors, Jayanti and XCOM, I would encourage you all to get in touch with all the mentors to encourage their mentees to contest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think TTM is missing in the role takers list for today.
TTM.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bad. I think I missed editing it. Give me a second.
Do we know when is the area contest for F1?
It would be March first week. I will just confirm, but it would be in March initial weeks. Okay, so I have edited it. Can you all please go ahead again and vote? Yeah, okay, I'm done and I hope you people are giving your votes. And meanwhile, I would thank Toastmaster Ritika for adding all those points here. Yes, you need to complete your level 2. And in case, I would repeat the same thing, in case there is 2-3 speeches and there is not enough meeting you feel, but you want to deliver your speech, let us know. We will arrange a slot for you.
Level 2 is only for the prepared speech contest,
Yes.
not for table topics or evaluation. Table topics and evaluation, you just need to be a member of our club.
Yes. Thank you, Richa. Okay, we have got a good number of response. So I'll go ahead and announce the results. And the best role taker goes to, as expected, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Richa. So let's give her a big round of applause. Then comes best auxiliary role taker, and by a huge margin, it is our counter Toastmaster Aviral. Then best table topic speaker, the margins are really close, but finally it is Toastmaster Jayanti. Thank you, everyone. And now best speaker goes to Toastmaster Priya. Congratulations to the speaker. And the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Ritika. Let's give her a big round of applause. And we do have few interesting themes for next week. We'll pick one and go ahead. And congratulations again to the winners. If you stay, those of you who are not on camera, if you come on camera, we'll take a video, we'll take a photo and then close the meeting. Sai, Sheetal, would you like to come on camera?
Today it may not be possible for me, I'm sorry, but definitely from the next session onwards.
Okay, no problem. Sai, are you coming? Okay, I think he's busy. Okay, let's take a photo. Which is 1, 2, 3. Done. Thank you, everyone. And we will share the winners poster soon. And hope you all have a great weekend.
Thank you.
And I mark the session closed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.